So on this episode of the Conscious Business Podcast, how long we've been in the industry, we pick mostly on Justin in this episode and see what kind of skills and traits that he's had to pick up to succeed in his industry of being a mortgage broker. When the skills actually came into play and things started to click and he actually figured out how to make money in the industry of being a mortgage broker. So here's the episode. This is the Conscious Business Podcast. Okay, so who of the three of us have been in our business the longest? So, Jesse,
let's say a year.
A year?
Minus.
Almost 4.5.
Almost 4.5.
Yeah.
I lost count, so let's go with you.
I'm pretty sure you take the crown on that one.
Let's pick on you. Well, I guess what? 5 months.
You're a little longer than me.
4 months short of 5 years.
Yeah.
But anyways, who cares? It's you. It's game time for you.
Woo.
So I just want to talk about you.
Don't touch that.
Transitioning.
Whoa. What's the implicit meaning of that word now?
From one career line to another career line.
Now it makes sense. That's such a good word. How did it get stolen in our language?
Thank you for not assuming.
Yeah, no, I knew you switched one career to the other. Okay, so what you did before, you were in construction, civil construction, laying pipes, doing things.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
I nailed that one on the head?
More or less.
Okay, cool.
I was like dirtier. That sounded like really clean. I was more on the dirty side.
Oh,
of things.
damn. How could I dirty that up?
Lane pipe.
Yeah, maybe like that.
I like that. That does the trick. Okay, so what skills or traits that you had made you think that, assuming you were fairly good at your job that you had before, what skills or traits did you have that made you look at this other new profession and be like, yeah, I think I'll be pretty good at that. I think I'll make it.
So there's definitely 2 points to that. One was in the previous trade, being a lead hand and getting into a foreman role before leaving. It was basically just glorified babysitting. I had 45-year-old babies that were complaining all day to me, and I had to problem solve for them. So on that aspect of things, I definitely thought I definitely thought it would be easier being able to babysit those, or like coming from babysitting 45-year-old men who just complain and if things aren't going their way, to coming into this side of the business. I definitely thought it'd be easy that way. But at that time, I didn't realize there was like sales, there's like client expectations you have to manage. Like I didn't really know what I was getting into. So like just the fact that I could babysit an old man made me think I could do this job.
Okay, so your perceived thought of what would make you good at this job turned out to be completely false.
Yep.
Okay.
Now to the point of totally delusional, like do you feel that what you got into was way over what you expected to be into?
Yeah, I didn't expect any of this.
How quickly did you have to grasp for air? Where did you find yourself failing right off the get-go?
Day one.
So
explain.
When you said you weren't expecting any of this, did you mean like this? What we have?
What do you mean? Like
we're not
Our friendship.
Oh, that's cute. No, so like we have a mutual colleague that I got to play pool with and drink beer with all day, and he did some big deal, and I don't know, he made like 40 or 50 grand on the one deal, and was my introduction to like real estate. So I don't know, that you know him, he's not exactly the hardest worker in the room, unfortunately. So like that's pretty good gig. I just made what I bust my nuts off for 12 hours a day, he made it in one deal. So if he can do it, I can do it. That was my expectation coming into this.
So tell me the failure.
Day one, thinking that my phone would just start ringing. And it did not.
Prospecting is tough.
Yeah. Well, so there's a few things. So I also thought getting into this financing world, things was going to be like bang, 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 like write a test or do some like schooling or whatever. I thought it'd be quite quick. It wasn't. The test here, I failed the first time, and then I had to do it again, and you had to wait some time, and then the course doesn't even teach you a damn thing of like what to do. It's just a lot of like legal jargon.
How not to get sued in the world of real estate.
Yeah.
More or less, and if you don't pay for this private other company to help you get through it, you're trying to read this and hit your head on the book, and I was a C student at best in high school, so it wasn't exactly simple. But on that side of things, when I got into it, there was a lot of different resources I could tap into, like some podcasts and some audiobooks that actually were strictly around mortgages in BC. So I got to kind of see how they did it. And there's this one guy on there, I'll shout him out, JD Smythe. He used to go to Home Depot to get clients. And so he had a bit of a script, and I kind of just copied it. I did the same thing. So very quickly I realized like, oh, there's like levels to this, right? So it wasn't just like, how do I get the file approved? How do I get these people their mortgage? It was, how do I even get the people, right? And so like, because I didn't have a lot saved up and I jumped into the deep end, I was able to transition fairly quickly to like, okay, I have clients. What do I do with them?
How often do you connect with your clients?
Now or then?
Back then?
Like, hey, you're approved. Hey, it's closing, and then done.
Hello.
Well, like it just, you hear like your database is king, like information's king, but you just don't know what you don't know at the time, right? So now I'm at the point where I've been fortunate with extremely low rates, and I've been able to come back to clients. But like in theory, in a normal world where rates were staying the same, the clients I worked with 4 years ago are now just finally coming back to me, right? Mm-hmm. And that's something day 1, even to day 100, you're not thinking about, because you're like, how do I eat now?
Yeah. How long did it take you to get your first paycheck?
3 months. No, that's not true. 60 days, but it was very pitiful.
Yeah.
But then like the first real one was 3 months. So
my question is like, where did you doubt yourself? Doubt comes with every action and every ambitious goal. Where did you determine like a little bit of doubt? Where did you have that fear of not making it?
Oh, is it coming?
Oh, okay.
I had to. So looking back, there wasn't like one moment where I was like, I'm not going to make it in this, because I made, in my first 60 days, I made like, I think it was $900 after my split. And it would have been, I don't know, $2,000, give or take, or something like that. So I already saw that what I was doing was better than what I was doing previously. So there wasn't so much like, I can't do this or anything like that. But definitely after the third month, after I had like a pretty good, I think I took home like 10 or 15 grand, I was like, oh, like easy, like now what? And then there was no deals the next month, because I follow the typical up and down of real estate, right? So in that sense, there was a bit of a doubt, like, oh, like this is on me to be constantly busy versus like I have a check coming every 2 weeks.
That drip.
Yeah.
Right. So where did it click? Where did you know, like, what were the encouraging moments that said, beyond where you're like, oh, I can do it a little bit, it's easier, but where were you like, where am I going to make it? Am I making it? I feel positive about this. Like, it's actually coming into fruition.
I don't know if that's even fully come. For myself.
No, and that's true, right? Like, you have to keep evaluating your situation, and then you got to continue to sow your seeds for the harvest.
So if we look at now, my business now, I would say I'm actually a victim of success, because I had such a good previous last year in comparison to like the industry as a whole, that I thought I was bigger and better than I was. So that's now. But at the beginning, like it took probably a year, and it would have been actually in a lake that I went to for a family vacation, where I was able to like get deals from like people drinking beer on the beach, because I was just like spitting out like information off like the top of my head, and they're like, oh, I have equity. Oh, I'm like a blue collar guy. Oh, I can buy an investment property. And then it was just like, oh, well, let's talk when we're not wasted.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can still talk about making money while you're wasted. You just got to write some
Yeah,
things
but like
down.
I came back from that vacation with like, I think I'd have to look back, but I'm pretty sure 16 deals.
Please like, subscribe, or do whatever you need to do. But tune in next week, tomorrow, whenever you got time. Conscious Business Podcast.